Hey everyone, I'm Willow, and today I'm going to be doing some portrait sketches in my sketchbook. I don't use colored pencils very often, but I feel like the way sketches look in colored pencil, at least when I see other artists doing it, they just look so much more magical than if you just use graphite. I don't know. I really wanted to give it a try, so that's what we're doing today. I'm going to be looking up some references on Pinterest, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to check those out. I started drawing with this light green pencil, but I quickly realized it wasn't showing up on camera like it was in real life, so I ditched that pencil and grabbed a darker one. I don't know why I started with green. I didn't really think through the colors or the layout. I was pretty much just making it up as I went along. I really want to get more comfortable just sketching on camera and kind of not worrying so much about the outcome, so I tried not to overthink it. This video is going to be a bit more laid back than the other videos I've been making lately, so if you want to grab some colored pencils or pens or whatever you like to sketch with, and maybe a sketchbook or some scrap paper, it doesn't have to be much. The whole point of these sketches for me is to relax and zone out and let go of some of the other stress that's going on in my life, so please do the same with me and set aside some of the scrolling or the anxiety that maybe you're trying to distract from. Grab yourself some art supplies and let's do this together. I'm going back to school this semester, and if I'm honest, even though the classes I'm taking aren't particularly difficult, it gives me quite a bit of anxiety, so taking time to just sit and draw this week was really important for me, and I bring that up to say two things. One, my videos are probably going to be a bit less frequent while I'm in school, and two, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just want to say that if you are experiencing some kind of anxiety or stress as well, I want you to know that you are not alone, and I hope this video gives you a chance to relax and take some time to make art. It's really difficult for me to prioritize creativity when I've got other, adulting to do in my life, but it always helps if I can just let my mind disengage for a while, get into the flow, and just kind of process things and let go of whatever else is going on. And maybe I'm watching a YouTube video, maybe I'm not. A lot of the time I'm just sitting and it's quiet, just me and the sound of the pencil on the page. It's very calming. Each of these portraits that you're going to see me sketch today took about 20 or 30 minutes, and since I didn't have a lot of time this week, that ended up being just the perfect amount that I could fit into the day without putting too much pressure on myself. And it can be really fun and satisfying to make a finished piece of art, to put a lot of time into something and really try to get an idea from my head onto the page and, translate that idea into something that other people can appreciate too. But there's also something super satisfying about just looking at a reference and finding the shapes and trying to put it together like a puzzle on the page. And then at the end, when you're done, it's like, whoa, this was a blank page a few hours ago, and now there's something unique and colorful on it, and I created that. And, when you're in that mode of just being playful and not being super hyper-focused on the outcome, you just learn so much more. Every time I draw a face from reference, I learn these subtle little things that help bring the drawing closer to I won't say a realistic image, but just a more believable image. My skill level has really just progressed to the point where the features are sorta in line, and I'm still getting the proportions right, and I'm working on values and contrast, and that likeness factor, sometimes it's there and sometimes it's just not. You just gotta celebrate the baby steps in life.
If you feel lonely, I will be here and wait for the sun. It's getting closer, but it will never let
This week was actually my husband and I's anniversary as well, and we have been together for more than a decade, married for almost as long, and we had a really lovely weekend. Spring has finally sprung, so we spend a lot of time going for walks and sitting out on our back deck with our dogs and just taking in the smell of the lilacs and the fresh cut grass.
This is where we belong. We belong. A new day will soon begin. That's what I've been here for all along. I have no doubt. I know you really want to stay till the fires burn out. Days like this will slowly fade away. Memories will always stay the same.
This purple sketch actually gave me a bit of trouble. Like I said, I don't use colored pencils very often, so my collection is kind of lacking. I only have a handful of the Prismacolor pencils, and I thought I'd been careful to only grab the good ones, but it turns out that this purple pencil was actually an off-brand that I really struggled to get the contrast that I wanted out of it. I still wanted to keep the monotone look, but I did end up grabbing a darker color at the end just to add a bit more definition around the hairline, and I think that really helped. So because I know you're all going to ask in the comments what I'm going to school for, no, it is not art. It is not art related. I am actually taking accounting classes. Woo! Spreadsheets. Not really very exciting stuff, just kind of practical business stuff. I am not a numbers person. If you know me in real life, it will make total sense to you when I say that math and spreadsheets aren't my thing. But there's a lot of reasons that I chose the accounting program, and one of them was to face my anxieties. So definitely doing that. A+ so far. And, you know, if you're wondering if I ever want art to be my career, I am still at the beginning of my art journey, and I don't know if I want my art to support me. That's a lot of pressure. I want my art to support me mentally and emotionally. Art is this place that I can escape to and just take in how grateful I am. Because beneath all that anxiety and stress and worry, you know, I feel so lucky to have these opportunities. I have a husband who supports me and has given me this chance to go back to school and do art and to advance my skills in so many ways. It's pretty amazing.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get
Moving on to this pink portrait. Oh, I love this color so much. This is one of my few Prismacolor Premier pencils. They are the softest, creamiest, as they say, colored pencils that I own. I don't know, I'm not a pencil person, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt, but all I know is this pencil is super pigmented and so fun to use. I don't know what it is about the color pink. I have been obsessed with it lately. My hair is pink. I keep adding pink to every drawing that I make. I can't stop. And the weird thing is, if you had asked me like 5 years ago, I probably would have said pink was my least favorite color. But something must have happened. The floodgates have opened. Pink has entered my life, and I cannot get enough. Has that ever happened to you where your tastes have just totally changed on something? I find that so fascinating, and also just how a color can speak to you, like scream at you from the page, and your brain is like, you gotta have that, you know? finally getting to this orange portrait. I think this one turned out the best of the bunch. I know I made the eyes a bit too big, but there is something I really like about the angle of the face. And interesting side note, this one is done with a Prismacolor Verithin pencil, and it is so different from the Premier pencils. It's harder and waxier, and it holds a point really well, so I was able to get some finer details like for the hair and the eyelashes. Also, I am doing these sketches in an Arteza watercolor sketchbook. I'm not really a fan of this paper for watercolor. It is just not up to snuff in my opinion for wet medium, but it does have a really nice soft texture to it, so I thought it would be really fun to try the colored pencil and kind of embrace that textured look. Oh, I hesitate to admit this, but I'm actually drinking lime LaCroix and root beer mixed together. It is so refreshing. Or if you just take a root beer and squeeze a little lime wedge into it, it's amazing. If you like root beer, if you like lime, put them together. Let me know if I'm crazy, but I like it.
Was a different kind of love. Should I get up? Should I get up and run? Stop dead right before it had begun. I was the morning dove, and you were the heart.
So like I said, this orange portrait is, I think, my favorite, but let me know in the comments which face is your favorite. I'd love to know. As a last minute decision, just to fill up the composition of this spread, I added a short quote. I kind of regret using this particular colored pencil because it is quite soft and it didn't really hold its point very well, but I like it. And it says, I found that I could say things with color and shapes that I couldn't say any other way. Things I had no words for. Georgia O'Keeffe. So if you have decided to pick up a pencil and are drawing something with me, please let me know what you're practicing. Are you drawing faces like I am? Are you practicing drawing something else? And if you like the style of these single color portrait sketches, I bet you'll also like this video where I ink a portrait using Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay India ink. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Nico has wrapped himself around me.